I think there's this word semangat. How do you say it in English? Spirit. Yeah, it's that spirit of struggle, spirit of organizing together. That spirit is kind of shared during the festival.
I think when you get people together in a dark room, experiencing these painful emotions together, there is a sense of a journey, there is a sense of a shared experience together with these people that heartens you in a way that is quite different if you're watching the same movie at home crying alone.
There's this Akira Kurosawa movie called Rashomon, something like that, where everyone witnessed the same incident, but everyone have a different perception of what is happening. So whose truth is more accurate?
I think it's important to go back to the Dare to Document event. I mean, the name of the event is also a slogan of the Freedom Film Festival in Malaysia, and Martin did it with permission from the organisers over there, and that pretty much provided a catalyst for us to imagine the possibility of running a fringe of the festival in Singapore.
In 2010, me, Seelan Pale, Ho Chun Hyong, and a few other Singaporean activists, we started Singaporeans for Democracy, an NGO which promoted democracy and human rights in Singapore. And as part of our program, we decided to bring Malaysia's Freedom Film Festival to Singapore.
Actually, the People's Constitution is an example of very careful consultation and diplomacy.
Mahasiswa juga ada perlembagaan sendiri, ya, yang mereka gubal dan juga mereka pinda masa AGM, Parlimen Mahasiswa. Semua student, kalau you masuk freshman tahun pertama, you automatic jadi ahli union, kena bayar RM10. Jadi kalau tengok union ada keuangan sendiri untuk jalankan aktiviti sendiri, mereka tak perlu bergantung kepada pentadbiran ataupun naib chancellor.
Yang masalahnya orang yang kat luar, itu saja. It's not like you sampai sekarang ni you ada krisis. What kind of crisis? We don't have crisis. Yang orang yang buat krisis pada kita, that is like they don't recognize us as semaknya. Kalau dia tak recognize as wanita pun, just recognize as semaknya cukup.
But it was not smooth sailing lah. At the time, I think the IMDA, they were not too happy for us hosting this event. They feel that we showcase Malaysian films, it will upset the Malaysian neighbor, the kind of stuff, we don't want that. Then I think say that, okay, you don't show Malaysian films, then you show Singapore films. Well, I think the IMDA or maybe it's MSC, I think they find it even worse.
The one that is most clear, it's the same spirit, is the Tan Pin Pin's film lah, Singapore with Love. We did face some issues and warnings not to screen the film because it will jeopardize friendly relations between the two governments or countries. But when the numbers are there, it just went on. And I'm telling you, people were sitting on the floor. We were like, oh, Singaporeans sit on the floor. Ooh. It was really, really kind of fun and exciting and risky. I think that's when you can see organically the two countries, or rather the citizens, really working together lah.
Two of my films are still banned, and they were both interview films with former political prisoners. However, I do regret that there wasn't any Singapore entry not just for the first festival, but also for the second one. I would assume that it's because we still have the Films Act in Singapore prohibiting political films of a biased nature, framed very broadly in the law.
I'm sure you might have seen in every batch of film school in Singapore, like There may be 1 or 2 students who want to make something about poverty or homelessness or migrant workers or something, and will I face censorship, or should I self-censor? Should I just not even get involved?
You don't know who you can befriend, no? Right? Everyone will just tell you like, be careful, that kind of stuff, So I think you become bolder when you realize that you're not the only one. We managed to have the films rated and showcased at a substation.
After which we dissolved the NGO because we didn't have the stamina to carry on, primarily because also our members came under a couple of police investigation, including myself.
But I recall there was this incident, something that we were selling Alan, once a jolly hair man, then got into another trouble.
To answer question to why we sold that book.
We also got disbanded officially. This is what we got, disbanded. We dissolved the society. But we're friends, Again, you see, we are alpha, each of us are all alpha character. We will disagree each other, the kind of stuff, And, but yet, I think that's the spirit of democracy, right?
We decided also to hand Freedom Film Festival over to another NGO, Function 8.
I managed to join Function 8 after Singaporeans for Democracy.
F8 has this thing. We want to let people know that we must do away with the ISA. Alright? But sometimes when we want to do this, everybody say, F8 always ISD, it doesn't give us, we become unpopular. We become anti-government. But actually, we are just saying that it is an unjust law. We want to get people to understand that with a law like this, it makes it so difficult for every one of us to really dare to do something without this fear that we're going to be arrested.
Because a number of them, they are all so much older than me, wiser than me, go through more shit than me. So they have the support, some kind of logistic support, financial support to another Freedom Film Fest.
So the court system itself has been made so expensive that it will deter anybody who's seeking justice in Singapore. So that is number 1. And number 2 is that to actually take a case, it really takes a lot of guts and perseverance. And I think a lot of us are so washed up already after the whole incident that you do not want to fight another battle like this.
Usually they have a theme, for every festival. Like last year, they decided on a theme called Harga Naik, Gaji Maintain, or Soaring Prices, Stagnant Wages. 2017, so long?
The theme is all human beings are free and equal. Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Yeah.
I think for me, the Freedom Film Festival, when I first started attending this festival in Petaling Jaya, what struck me was the number of issues that the filmmakers all over Asia was highlighting. It could be the land rights or villages not being able to send children to school because the parents had to go so far away to work and the children were neglected. So it's actually bringing issues that affect the marginalized and voiceless to the awareness of a wider audience. And it's through film that is so powerful. And for me to be in the festival, to meet the activists and the filmmakers, and to listen to them to talk passionately about why they believe that these issues should be known and discussed, it really struck me that we in Singapore must be doing something similar so that we are not frogs in a well.
And also the Dialekta mission is to pass this history to younger generation to the song. That's why it's fiction.
especially in public universities, like you cannot have like forums in regards to politics or even talking about human rights.
Kita mula-mula kita buat mesyuarat, sorok-sorok dalam tempat yang tersorok lah, dalam panas kan. Tapi disebabkan saya selalu kempen kat kawan-kawan, kalau kita bersatu, kita akan kuat.
Kalau kita cakap pekerja sudah hidup, hidup persatuan. Okey. Hidup pekerja! Hidup pekerja! Hidup pekerja!
It is very strange because these are human rights films, you know. It's not like porn or violence, you know. It's strange that Singapore should not allow human rights films to be screened in a normal theatre where we also have to get the ratings from the IMDA.
Even though we don't understand why short film need 30 days and so on, right? I bet some film is only 2 minutes and you need 30 days to look at it.
I think it's important that younger people and young filmmakers become interested to do films that actually reflect important issues that are not discussed but must be highlighted to bring awareness to a bigger audience. Because if you don't do it, do all this kind of thing, the issues just will be buried, underground, and nobody will talk about it.
Rumah, the house dapat, look forward to home every day. Because there's a difference when you live in a rental house and a normal house. Rental house, you feel walaupun ada bumbung, you appreciate it but then just that you didn't have your own room. Because when you buy your own house, you have your own room, a place where you be angry, be sad, be everything all about inside the room.
If there's someone that you see who is from a different background, different culture, maybe race, religion, whatever it is, even occupation, what I've learned over the years is, just have a casual, spend some time with them.
Even during this virus outbreak, many customers still ask for no condom.
So I think it's that level of trust that we have built over time interacting with them. And I think that's kind of my key takeaway, spending time with a few of them, and also many sex workers that Vanessa kindly kind of opened doors for me to kind of interact with.
And that's where I initiated the Citizen Cinema program in the festival, which allowed content to be created and submitted by people in Singapore.
And we even award a prize for them to encourage them. The response was very good for the first year, but the second year I think was a bit of a problem because they don't have films to submit.
Thanks to all the filmmakers who submitted their films, and then special congrats also to the ones who got showcased earlier this morning. I mean, more than anything else, a film is nothing until it's seen, and then particularly for a festival like this, what happens is when you take the ideas and you expose to distribute out into the world and do something with it. We made a decision not to give a first, second, or third prize, but instead we're giving commendations to 3 films. And these are the films that we want to encourage them and also all the other filmmakers to push the envelope a bit more.
And then I subsequently handed it over to Nina, who then worked on film labs and workshops that would help in the creation of more local content.
I think I had to basically send out a flare to find out if there were any people who were as indignant as I was.
We do documentaries, we take ourselves as the expert. Don't do that.
We definitely have a vision that hopefully this festival would bring about some very creative people who would venture into making films, not the ordinary documentary, but something more challenging. It would be good if somebody can do a film on race, the race relationship.
Yeah, why we have CIMO.
CMI, what? CIMO.
Yeah, Chinese, Indian, Malay and others. Yeah, why must we have this?
I'm sometimes a bit iffy about the word citizen cinema just because it's open to anybody based in Singapore, right? But I think that term at that time when he coined it, it just has a nice ring to it. I don't know, next year we're going to change it or whatever, but I will bring this up. Like, it's not, I don't make final decisions. Everything is always quite like, we throw out pictures to each other. It's nice to be part of a larger team and to also learn about the climate of Singapore, history-wise, the media climate of Singapore through the eyes of the functionate people, you know.
I hope filmmaking we can play a little bit of a catalyst to help filmmaking to go into more interesting than just what you see in Channel 5, or we just have Jack Neo type of story kind of thing. Right? I feel that we should go a bit further than that.
புதுசாக என்ன எல்லாமே புதுசாக இந்தியாவிலேருந்து சிங்கப்பூருக்கு வரணும்னா டெஸ்ட் அடிச்சு ஸ்கில்டு முடிச்சு வரணும்னாக்க மினிமம் 5 லட்சம் வரை வாங்குறாங்க. அப்படின்னா மேக்ஸிமம் எவ்வளோ வாங்குறாங்கங்கிறது சில பேரோட அறியாமையும் சில பேரோட சூழ்நிலையும் பொறுத்து வாங்கிக்கிறாங்க. அது 5 லட்சம் வாங்கிட்டு இங்கே வந்து அதுக்கு வட்டிக்கு ஒரு வருஷம் எவ்வளோ நம்ம ஊரில் இருந்தால் எவ்வளோ சம்பாதிக்கலாம், இல்லை ஒரு வருஷத்துக்கு வட்டி எவ்வளோது அப்படிங்கிறதெல்லாம் அவங்க கால்குலேஷன்லாம் பண்ணுறதில்ல.
Really that scary that if any publication were to publish any unwarranted articles not that the government does not support, within 6 months this government could close the site down for good.
So when you have controversial issues raised in the film, we have a very good crowd. In one year we had Martin See's film, and it was full house discussion. People saw the film online, but they come to see Martin See and have a discussion. So that is very important part of the festival.
Even I'm sure in religious structures we have opportunity, but then when you sit down and you really think about it, what is the percentage of female leadership in the Archdiocese? What is the female leadership percentage in MUIS?
2 years ago, during the Freedom Film Fest, there was one of the screenings that revolved around gender as well as religious themes, and I was invited to be a panelist. I personally had not heard of it before. It was new to me, and given the size of the event, I realized that this was really something underground, even though it had been around for about 10 years.
The functionate team, they were already running it for a few years in Singapore. They needed new perspectives, they needed new people, so they wanted Seelan to kind of go and feel around, to find somebody who can be part of the team, because they are getting quite tired in doing a lot of the organizing, the running around, the planning and all.
Basic logistics and operations how you program it such that people are going to be safe, they're going to be comfortable, they are given proper trigger warnings, they are given everything from how they sit, how they come in, how they leave, when do they know what time it is, are they even made aware of whether a movie is M18 or R21, because if you don't, then that's your legal liability. There are a lot of little bits and pieces in this whole machinery.
Culture as well as the environment. Now our next film, A Northern Soul, will run for 76 minutes. It's also PG-13, so I'm quickly obliged to just check. Yeah, I think very good. Enjoy the film.
That you get a group of young volunteers coming together and also discussing on the various issues that the film festival featured for that year, also to bring awareness. So I think that is something that I'm very happy to see the development over the years when you see the festival and the young people coming together.
Where I found myself being quite involved with the Freedom Film Fest organization, and where I would like to further help, is to strengthen the base of volunteers, strengthen that pool of people who are able to jump in.
Okay, on the funding of the Freedom Film Festival, it's very interesting. In Malaysia, you have funding from the British Council, My Dogs, Pit Stop, Luma, and all that. All the embassies are fully in support of the festival. The ambassadors and the staff attend the festival. But in Singapore, we don't have any of these embassies coming to attend. Also, they didn't come. We invite them, but they didn't come, and then we also don't get any funding from embassies or for foreign companies. Every year is a losing money festival. We do pass the hat around and we do ask friends to make a donation, but every year we have not enough money to run the festival. Which is okay. I mean, if we need money, Function 8 people can go around and tax our friends.
We are quite happy to keep it that way. That means you go to a Freedom Film Festival, you don't have to really pay. You don't have to buy a ticket, kind of thing. So I think we would try to keep it as long as possible.
I remember one of the first things I read about Said Zahari was what an awful time his family had when he was arrested. They had terrible times, struggling to make a living, take care of the kids.
Especially his wife. His wife had to work at a hawker stall somewhere in Changi, just to feed the children, you know. Yeah. Wow. And his children grew up, 17 years without him, without father. Can you imagine what kind of psychological impact it must have on them growing up, you know?
Yes.
The pressure we felt, the stress we felt came from trying to figure out, like, if we were to follow these rules, can we still be credible filmmakers? How do you balance that so that people know that there are things that you perhaps don't tell them, but that you also try to make clear?
You see, what I try to say is this. I do hope a festival is that you'll be sort of sustaining. That filmmakers able to pursue issue and yet they're able to make a decent living. Right? The concept of struggling artists to me is a very bad thing. Everyone needs to be paid.
So it's really like kudos to F8 for wanting to see that. I think just having a life support for these kinds of festivals which are not financially, they're not, you don't make money from them, if you still have to fork out money, you know.
I mean, as you know, Celeste, you're now starting to get interested in this. You really need support, right? I mean, whether it's a financial spirit, just to encourage you, because everything seems to be not so easy, Nothing is making it easy for us to make social films, It's maybe scary, there are risks.
Over the last 10 years, due to the good work by NGOs, such as Home or TWC2, I think the term human rights, workers' rights, migrant rights are not such taboo topics anymore.
While there's more being said, more people are being charged for the most absurd things being said online. You can get charged for a Facebook post, you can get jailed for it, fined, bankrupted. For a blog post, you can be sued by the Prime Minister.
Future direction, we hope the young people will take it from here, from us.
Just the last line is like keeping the spirit of the festival lah, which is dare to document. And I think that's what Singapore has been doing all this while, from first stage till even now lah. So we've kind of kept to that spirit of the festival lah.